everyone. Welcome to podcast Jejak Alumni Fssk, Transformasi Mahasiswa ke Alam Berjaya. A podcast platform where we explore the experiences and journeys of alumni from the Faculty of Social Science and Humanities in building their careers after graduation. For today's episodes, our topic is Transformasi Mahasiswa ke Alam Berjaya, or transformation from student life to the working world. Joining us today is our lecturer who is also an alumni of the International Relations Program at Unimas, Sir Ashley bin Amir. Our guests will be sharing valuable experiences about the journey from being an university student to becoming a professional in the academic field. Okay, so before we begin our discussion, could you briefly introduce yourself and share your journey from being an international relations student at the Unimas to becoming a lecturer at the university?
Okay, so hi everyone. As Brittany mentioned earlier, I am a former alumnus of FSSK doing international studies. So this was when it was still studies, it wasn't relations yet. And then after about 12 years after graduation, I finally got a job back here. So after I graduated in 2014, I actually worked as what they would call a tutor or assistant lecturer with Berjaya in Berjaya University for a few months, and then I went to do my master's, came back from my master's at Nottingham University, UK, and continued working as an academic, but with private institution with Inti International University for 2 years, teaching international law. Then I decided I wanted to get a bit more of a practical experience, so I applied to the UNHCR, where I worked as a Refugee Status Determination Associate. So that involved actually interacting with people from other countries. So people who were leaving their countries due to reasons of persecution on race, religion, political affiliation, and also to a certain extent sexuality. So this was actually quite a big jump for me, and it was quite a good work experience, but at the same time there were the health concerns that I had during that time as well. So I was with the UNHCR for about 3 years. Then I chose to leave the organization and I was unemployed for about 6 months. So during that time I actually did a lot of different jobs, daily jobs, but I decided to expand my horizons before finally joining PETRONAS. But with PETRONAS, I was not doing anything, not to say not related to international relations, but with PETRONAS, I was part of the quality assurance division, specifically digital quality assurance, so software testing. So I was with them for about 2.5 years until they decided to right size. So it just so happened that during the right sizing process, Unimas called me back.
That is a quite long journey, sir. So, looking back on your university years, which experience or activity had the most significant impact on your personal or professional growth?
I mean, during my university days, there were a few things that I did. I used to be a member of Unimas Debating Society, UDS. I was one of the early cohorts that actually won some competitions. We were runners-up at the NAM Institute Empowerment for Women Great Gender Debate in 2011. And we were also runners-up during the Royal Malaysian Debating Championships in 2014. So that debating culture that I had actually helped me in my career moving forward, because after I finished my studies, I actually interned with the Malaysian Institute for Debate and Public Speaking as a result of my network. So I think it's not just the activities that I did in university, it's also the networks I created within the university which were important, and of course what I learned in my classes.
Okay. So, in your opinion, how relevant are the programs offered by the FSSK in meeting the demands of today's industries and job market?
Okay, so in my opinion, it actually is very important, but not for the reasons you'd think. It's more the idea that the programs and the courses offered by the faculty are there to actually broaden your horizons, make you think, make you understand the actual situation in the real world. At the same time, it also, with some of these programs, you have elements where you have to go out of the university. You have to do data gathering, you need to engage with local communities. And that is actually the most important part, because you actually learn the skills that you will take into the job market later on. Because that knowledge that you have is great, but if you can't apply that knowledge, then it basically just becomes stuck in your head.
Okay, so thank you very much to Sir Ashley for the inspiring and meaningful sharing for today. From our discussion, it is clear that the journey from being a university student to entering the working world requires efforts, discipline, and continuous learning. To all of our listeners, we hope that this session will give you motivation and guidance in preparing for your future career. I am Brittany Amber for today's podcast, your host for today's episode on podcast Jejak Alumni FSSK Transformasi Mahasiswa ke Alam Kerjaya. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you again next episode.